Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about knowing your worth. So, this is something I talk to a lot of admins and assistants about getting a new job. And that's what fueled creating the Getting the Job course that's in the officials platform. And one of the things that I didn't add in the course, which I am now going to update, is something about knowing your worth. And I don't mean that as in knowing that you should be confident or knowing what a catch you are. I mean that in that literally knowing what your knowing what your value is to a company, like in numbers. Do you know how much you are worth? If you say you took your job and you went part-time, or you made a switch up and you want to be more remote, do you know how much you are worth in an hourly rate? Do you know how to figure this out? So I'm going to update the Getting the Job course to include this, but I'm going to tell you about it today. So to calculate what you are worth, think about how much you would like to make in a salary. So if that's, I should have had prepared numbers because I'm terrible at math on the fly. So say you want to make $50,000, 50,000 pounds. Divide that by 52 weeks. And then you take that number and divide it by a 40-hour work week. So whatever 50,000, if anyone wants to watching can do the math for me, 50,000 divided by 52, and then divide that number by 40, and that will give you your hourly rate. So if you are looking for part-time work, or you're thinking about being a VA and you're wondering how much to charge for your time, you have your hourly rate as a base. Then if I were a VA or I was someone working part-time, I'd really think about the day rate, and I'd want to be expressing the day rate instead of the hourly rate. So if I want to make 35 pounds an hour, let's say, or $35 an hour, then, hey, Joy, help me. What is 50,000 divided by 52? And then say you want to make $30 an hour, right? So a half a day is 4 hours. So you've got $120 or pounds or whatever for a half a day rate. And then you double that to get your daily rate. So if you were saying like, this is what my charge is for a half a day, or you just say, this is my day rate. And then if you break it up more, you can chunk it up how you want, but you have this base. I think it's really important that not enough assistants know what they're worth. And the reason why I think this is so important, it's because you devalue yourself whenever you do overtime. Whenever you give up your own free time, say you're a salaried employee and you then stay there till 7, 8 o'clock at night, or you work on the weekends, then you're working over the 40-hour work week. So now that number, so 50,000, let's say, is the salary that you want, and you divide that by 52 weeks, so you get your weekly rate, and then you normally would divide that by 40 to figure out what you work an hour based on a 40-hour work week. If you are working 2 hours extra every night, and then working on Saturday or Sunday, think about all those extra hours. So now maybe you're working 48 hours a week. Maybe you're working 52 hours a week. So that week, that salary you think is so great, divided by 52, now divide it by 50 or 60. Whatever you actually are working, and that's your new hourly rate. That's what you are now. You are choosing to devalue yourself for your company. And so I want assistants and admins to really understand their worth, because you don't want to be devaluing yourself. You think you've got this great salary. It involves overtime. And so I think if you know this number ahead of time, you can say, okay, I really have to be wiser with my time. I have to be more communicative with my employer to say, listen, I cannot do everything you're asking me to do in this amount of time. So either you have to pay me more for my time to work overtime, or we have to discuss what topics and which items I should be concentrating on and what we can delegate to somebody else. And here are my ideas. So Does this help anybody? Does this resonate with anybody? I'd really love to hear what you think about this in the comments. I've spoken with so many admins and assistants, and every time this is a revelation, though it's very simple math. And it's a very simple idea. It seems common sense. You are devaluing yourself based on your hourly rate. More hours you work for that same amount, the less money you're making an hour. And so I want admins and assistants to really think about this, one, when they're breaking out into possibly being a virtual assistant or a PA for hire or working part-time with a more flexible schedule. This is all very popular at the moment. And when they are working overtime and they are crushing themselves for a job and realizing that they are contributing to the narrative here that they are worth less than what they were hired to do by doing all this work. Value your time and value your worth, and what your worth is what your hourly rate is, so that you don't devalue yourself. Give yourself value, understand what you're worth, and it will help you have those conversations. And bosses understand the bottom line. They want to know how something saves them money. So if you're staying late to work on travel because they've changed the flights again, and that's so much time, you're saying, you know what, this is a waste of my time. Or say you're doing it during work hours, takes you half a day. You could be going to a travel agent who's going to be doing all this work anyway, and they're going to charge you $25 to $40 or 25 to 40 pounds, whatever your denomination you're in, an hour. And that's way cheaper than possibly someone they're paying $30 or 30 pounds an hour. So this helps you also delegate your responsibilities, or not your responsibilities. Your responsibility is to make sure it happens. So this is giving you fire to then delegate, because you know what you are worth, and you can express this to your boss. This is not worth what you pay me for me to do. They want you to say you're a private PA and they want you to return a jumper or a sweater that costs 20 pounds or $20. For the time it takes you to go somewhere to return the thing and come back, it's not worth the amount of money they paid you to get their 20 pounds back or $20 back. So being able to know what you are worth in a monetary term is really important. So just remember, it's whatever your yearly salary is, or the yearly salary you would like to make, divided by 52 for 52 weeks, and then take that number and divide it by 40 to get your normal hourly rate, and adjust those numbers accordingly to get them where you want, okay? If you're going into a role or you're looking at something that's part-time pro rata. And also change that 40 hours a week to what you're actually working. If you're working 50 hours a week, make sure that you take that 50,000 or whatever that salary is, divided by 52 weeks, and then divided by, I'm actually working 50 hours a week. And you will see how it devalues you, how it brings that hourly rate down, and then work on trying to bring that rate back up. How can you work smarter? How can you work remote? How can you save time so that you're not working on your long commute? I think it really starts with just knowing your worth and calculating that hourly rate. So I hope everybody liked that. I'm going to post this on IGTV shortly. Have a great day, everyone.